Good morning, everybody who's listening to me today. We welcome you to Sunburst. This is a place where I have been living now for so many years. Lots of memories. But this morning, I'd like to talk to you about one memory that always came back to me over the years. A magical memory. At first I didn't know what to do with it, but it came back to me again and again and opened up its meaning to me more and more. It is the memory how I first met Norman Paulson. He is the founder of Sunburst, and people gathered around him, more and more people who wanted to learn meditation from him. When I first met him, I knew nothing about meditation. I just had seen an article about him and his group in California in a German magazine, and the pictures and the words shared there compelled me to travel halfway around the world and meet these people and meet him. And I just couldn't help myself, I just had to. And I was there just a few days, and I haven't met Norm yet by that time. And there was this opportunity for all the people of the group and all the visitors who were there at that time. I have to tell you, it was about 43 years ago. We all had this opportunity to go on a day of sailing on this big schooner that the group owned by that time. And I was excited about that sailing Sunday, and I was excited about meeting Norman Paulson. I was full of anticipation. So we drove to Santa Barbara. We had to go into a Zodiac and get out there because the ship was anchored way out. And we climbed on board into the middle of this bustle of peeping, talking, and moving things and getting ready to sail off, getting the boat ready and everybody ready in a safe, joyful place to take off for the day. And I was guided to Norm, and he was standing at the helm of the schooner. Like a true good captain, organizing everything. And then I was introduced to him, and suddenly everything kind of felt silent around me. I didn't hear any of that commotion anymore. He shook my hand and he looked me in the eyes. And I could not really understand how magical that was, because all I could explain it was like as if a beautiful, loving, warm shower came over me. A stream out of his eyes that poured over me. And I was totally open. I had this impression he could look into my very soul. That he knew me in a way like no other human being had ever known me. And I felt so cared for and embraced and accepted. I don't know how long this locking of eyes or the handshake lasted. There were no words spoken. In the end, there were only a few words coming to me. And I never had spoken those words to anybody in my life because it just never felt right to do it in me. But the words I said to him was, "You are my good guide." And then somehow that spell broke and the departure actions all were around me again, and I enjoyed that sailing trip. And days passed and years passed, and I always came back to that memory. First I was wondering why. And then gradually the understanding of what really went on there arose in me. This warm stream of energy that came over me that I could not express otherwise but as a warm shower. That stream of energy that came out of his eyes and fell deep, deep, deep into me. Those were all life particles. It was a divine, loving energy flow from his eyes into me. And it showered away all these layers that I was enclosed in, like this layer of all your social roles. I was a wife by that time and a mother, and also this layer that you build around yourself with your own thinking of who you are, like your character, your good abilities, your weaknesses. All this was showered away, and all that was left was just this gem of a soul that we all are. We all have this soul in us that has divine origin and that acts in this body, but it came from a different dimension and is now in this body and acts through this body. And this soul, our soul, is a gem that comes from divine origin. All of our souls, no matter how much we have it covered up in all our personal layers, it is such a revelation that to suddenly know who you are, where you come from, and that this divine source is there and living, and that you have connection. And the fact how much you crave that connection, it is shown by how gorgeous you feel when this life stream pours over you. You want it to come. You want it to strengthen you. You want it to give you joy of living. You are seeking it because it's the only thing that you know is giving you true satisfaction. And I understood more and more there's this life stream, this energy supply that came to me out of Norm's eyes is there for everybody to encounter and for everybody to know. Because now, today, Norm's eyes are closed to this world. He departed from this earthly plane. But that life stream that came through his eyes into me is still there. And the eyes that it comes through is to me now and to everybody is not two earthly eyes, but what we call the third eye. We all have a third eye. And that third eye is like a lens where our divine life force streams into us. It streams into us from that loving divine light that always resides above our head, and that supplies us with these sparkling life particles that flow into the pituitary gland, onto it, and then get reflected down into our spine and revive all cells that need reviving. It's like a divine feeding. That's how God sustains us. And that is what meditation is. Our topic today. Meditation is nothing else but being so quiet, dropping all the layers that you clothe your soul in, and let the divine light through the third eye shine on your soul. Knowing that your soul comes from a divine loving source that will always supply it whenever we need it. And it is a supply of energy that goes beyond food, a sustaining energy that goes beyond sleep. It's the energy that Gandhi drew into himself to live on just a few hours of sleep, meditate for many, many more hours than he slept, and still having energy for this overload of a workday. It's that life energy that flows into people who live without food, saints that we hear about, that don't eat, don't drink. But that third eye life stream flows into them and sustains them, sustains their body with sustenance and air. The most beautiful thing of everything is that this source and this sustenance is always there for us. none of our life circumstances can ever cut us off from it. All we need to do is want it, crave it, long for it. It's our heart's desire. And that is why we meditate. To know our source, reach for that connection, be embraced by it, just sit still and know that the divine is you. I so hope that your own loving connection to God has given you freshness to go out into the world again, because this connection, it can heal all the broken cells in your body. It can heal all these frayed emotions and soothe them back. It can heal a racing mind that doesn't know in or out. And give it calm, helpful insights. Whatever the world that you live in does to you during your day, all of it can be healed and helped. Meditation gives you that trust. I want to let you go out now into your life again with a quote that is here in this book that Norm Paulson wrote. He said, "Choose a path that will lead you in youth to the greatest of all encounters, that your lifetime here may become a blessing to others and yourself. If you are aged, begin now. It is never too late. God is waiting to hear from you in your prayer and deep meditation." Amen.
Marvel not when I say you must be born again, born of the Spirit and the water, child of the Mother and the Father divine, born in the arms of the circling wind, born in the arms of the circling wind. Marvel not when I say you must be born again, born of the breath and the fire, child of the holy desire, come forth within, come forth within, come forth within. the silence shines the sacred light, watching and waiting for every soul. Oh, my child, stand in the sacred light. Let it guide your way home. Won't you guide my way home? Marvel not when I say you must be born again, born of the Spirit and the water, child of the Mother and the Father, divine, born in the arms of the circling wind, born in the arms of the circling wind, free in the light again, my love, free in the light again. I am that I am, my love, free again.